parents drop them off at work about the music that the kids listen to and how these artists were inspired by a different generation. So I was just wondering if a kid wanted to listen to the Commodores, what would be the first song that you would actually recommend them to listen to so that give a little inspiration to the parents? Yeah.
Yes, that's a very good question. I would recommend that a song that everybody can relate to, no matter what age they are, it would be a song like Easy. Easy like Sunday morning.
Nice, thank you so much.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Anybody? Yes, and we have another question from the floor. Yeah, nobody? Yeah, okay. I want to ask, leading on that, the younger generation, what message or feeling you hope the younger generation would take away from your performance tonight?
I want them to take away the fact that music and the creativity of music still exists. Live performing is still very important. Don't allow technology to take away your creativity and to utilize the innovations that we have, but do it in a way that it still includes your input. Because when the day that music will die is when we start just relying strictly on the technology of sampling music and that sort of thing. And so you're going to hear some live performance tonight and witness instruments that are being played, I mean, with fire.
Looking forward. Yes, we have a question?
Yes,
Yeah?
it's an honor to ask you this question. Have you written any new songs lately, and is there any chance that they can hear one?
I'm sorry, I didn't...
Have you written any new songs that maybe let us hear tonight?
Oh, Donna, surprise! Yes, in fact, we have some new material that's coming out, and we're excited because we want to tie it into not only a CD and a recording, but in a documentary that we're doing as well. So, yes, very good question.
We all look forward to that.
All right.
Yes, can we have another question from the floor? I know what you're waiting for, but let's ask question first. Okay? They're just having their phones ready to record. You will probably do a sneak peek. Yes, we have another question over there.
Hello, I'm from Malaysia. I'm just asking, what is your first big hit, and what was your inspiration behind it, and how did your band react to that, and how did it inspire you guys going forward after that?
Okay, I'm sorry. I need to ask you to repeat that.
What was your first big hit? How did it affect you guys?
Oh.
And how did you all move on from there? And how did it inspire you thereafter?
Yes. Okay, you know when you watch sports and basketball or football or soccer and anything, the team comes together and they kind of get in a huddle and they have their little inspirational talk and then they break away, right? Well, I came up with the slogan, guys, we're the Black Beatles. And of course, having that sort of inspiration to do what the Beatles did, obviously we didn't even have we weren't even signed to a record label, but Machine Gun was our first hit. And it's an instrumental. In fact, we're going to play it tonight. And what was the inspiration behind it was, first of all, Lionel Richie had not evolved as a lead singer at that time. And none of us had really evolved, you know, as prolific writers or anything. We were just trying to get a hit out there. And Billy Preston had a song called Outer Space. I don't know if you remember this. but it was an instrumental. And our inspiration was, what if Billy Preston was to come with a follow-up with the song Out of Space? What would it sound like? It would sound like Machine Gun. And of course, when we released it, the song just went, just crazy all over the world. And in fact, that one song was a part of an album that we released, and we became the first artist on Motown to sell a gold album. They had been selling gold, thank you. They had been selling gold singles, but never a gold album. And in fact, in the Philippines, we broke the Beatles' attendance record at the Araneta Coliseum. And so, in fact, Ferdinand Marcos was president at that time, and he sent the military to escort us from our hotel because the crowd was so phenomenal. We had 352,000 people at the Araneta Coliseum from that first album. So the inspiration was, let's try and do something close to what the Beatles did.
That's a big inspiration for many of us in that generation. The younger ones may not know who the Beatles are. Okay, do we have another question from the floor? Anybody, any young ones who may want to ask some questions? Yes, it's okay, not so young, it's okay. Your name and where you're from?
My name is Charlie. You are right, not so young. We are so happy and honored to have you here, but you are here now as a celebrity. I am more interested to know your struggle before you got your hit. What did it took you? Every weekend you had to struggle and play the part, or how did it go?
Every struggle before that big hit.
Oh, great.
That's the tough time.
Yes.
You know?
This is a very good question. The first challenge that I had was to convince Lionel Richie's grandparents and his parents to pursue music because they wanted him to be a priest. And so the challenge was to sit in Lionel Richie's grandmother's living room and look her straight in the eye with a convincing story that it's going to be okay for her grandson. Now, she didn't see my knees shaking, but I told her, look, Lionel, last summer, he went to work at the bomb factory, and this is a chance for him to continue working for the summer. And we have saved up enough money, and we think we can go to New York and take it by storm, grandmother. She said, oh, son, you're not going to be involved in drugs. No, ma'am. You're not going to be involved in alcohol. No, ma'am. And what about those girls? Grandma. So anyway, we got in our van. She says, okay, I'm going to give you guys 2 months to see what you can do. Well, we thought we had saved up enough money to last at least a month. But when we got to the New Jersey Turnpike, it cost $4.50 for the toll. We didn't have it. So the toll booth guy looked in the van and he says, hold on, you mean to tell me all 6 of you guys are in here, you're stuck in this van with your luggage and your Instruments, I think I believe you, because if you'd had some money, you would at least rented a trailer. He said, I'm going to let you guys go, but if you promise you're going to make it big, that you'll tell a story. Well, we get to New York, we go through the toll. The guys are really angry at me now. They're saying, Thomas, we listened to you. You got us up here in New York City, and we're broke. We don't have any money, and I'm going to call Grandma. No, don't call Grandma, please. Don't call Grandma. Well, as we were standing there, I looked and I saw there was the YMCA, which was about 2 blocks, and it was like 9 o'clock at night. I said, guys, I'm going to go and talk to the manager of the YMCA to see if they would let us mop floors or do anything for room and board. Stay here and watch the equipment, and I'll be right back. Well, I go and I talk to the manager of the YMCA. And when I came back, the guys were all fascinated about New York City. They were looking all up at the tall buildings. And lo and behold, someone came and stole all of our equipment. So now we're in New York with no money and no equipment. They go, okay, Thomas, that's it. You did it. We're going back to Alabama. We're going home. I said, hold on, guys. But it's still going to take money to gasoline. There's another nightclub about a few blocks away. Let me go and see can I convince this guy to let us play. Well, Wilt Chamberlain owned the club there where all the celebrities would come at night. And I walk up to the front of the club, and the guy looked at me, he said, get away, you're not from here, you're blocking the door. All these celebrities are coming in, go. I said, hold on, sir, I'm with the Black Beatles. He said, son, and then by this time, the guy that stole all our equipment, here he comes trying to sell it. Anybody want some equipment? I'm like, oh man, that's our equipment. I'm saying to the guy at the front door, he goes, okay guy, give the guy $50 and he'll give you your equipment back. I said, wait a minute. He says, this is New York, you don't understand. Give him $50 and he'll give you your equipment back. I don't have $50. I didn't have $4.50 to get to the toll booth. So the guy reaches in his pocket and he says, okay, I'm going to give you this $50 and you go and you get away from here because James Brown is coming, Aretha Franklin is coming, and you're blocking the door. So I'm excited. I get the money and I give it to the guy. He gives us our equipment, and our guys are back down about a block. Hey, Lionel! Hey, guys! I got the equipment! I got my equipment! I say, yeah, but we're still broke. So I go back to the club. The guys see me coming and go, oh, no, not you again. And he says, I tell you what, there's a local band that's playing, and they're called Kool and the Gang. And when they take a break, you better be the Black Beatles. So that was a struggle that propelled us. And we made it through that, and we said, hey, if we can make it through this, we can make it through anything.
What a story. Woo! Oh, give it up. Thomas, can you share with us the names of these original members? I know one or two of them have passed on in all due respect. And maybe you can just let's appreciate them from the first day that you started.
Yes. Marlon Williams, who wrote our first hit, Machine Gun. He passed away at 57. And recently, our manager passed away at 54. He was the guy that loaned us the $50 to get our equipment back. And of course, Ronald LaPrade just recently, in the last few weeks, suddenly passed away. And he was one of the writers and one of the, obviously, members that went with so many years together. And in fact, we will be commemorating those guys tonight. And I know you're going to be there to help us cheer them on as they smile down at us, even as we speak.
That's good to hear. Do we have any other questions from the floor? Yes? Anybody wants to ask anything, share your experience? Go ahead.
When you were first starting out as a band, do you remember the first time you saw any of your idols on your
Idols? Yeah?
like Brown or Rita or anyone? Did you have a moment where somebody that you admired was watching you?
That gig, you know that Rita Franklin was walking in and nobody else. Did you manage to get any one of them to watch your performance at that time?
Oh, yes. In fact, for the Freshman Talent Show, we performed 2 songs. One by James Brown, Cold Sweat, and the other one by Glenn Campbell, Wichita Island. And so when the guy that owned the club says, okay, you guys got 15 minutes to prove that you're the Black Beatles. So the guys looked at me, they said, are we going to play James Brown's song? And he's sitting in the audience. I said, yes, we're going to do it. And as we started to play his song, Cold Sweat, James Brown got excited, and he wanted to come up on the stage with us. And so, in fact, the young man who loaned us the money became our manager, and he also was a friend of Suzanne the Past, who Barry Gordy had hired to manage the Jackson Fives. That's how we got to be the opening act for the Jackson Five.
What a story. All right. We can take one last question. Yes, Maria.
Hi, Maria here from Kuala Lumpur. You mentioned that you have been to Kuala Lumpur in 1975. I'm wondering if this is your first trip to Sarawak itself, and what do you think about the music and heritage here in Sarawak? And would you consider collaboration of sorts with the local talent?
Oh, that's a very good question. You know, when we got here, we were so anxious to hear some of the local guys, and we were just so impressed on how the interpretation of the various instruments and how they were utilizing the different sounds and the different rhythms. And as you know, all musicians are inspired by someone. You know, we were inspired by someone, and so to get the inspiration and just, in fact, we're going to play a song tonight called Sabu, and it has a feel, a local sound that you will certainly recognize. And when we came in last year and we were listening to some of the bands, we were going, oh my God, how coincidental is this? So, you know, I am very, very impressed with some of the young musicians here. Very much.
Okay, Thomas, who will be with you tonight in the lineup?
Dun,
Not Lionel Richie. Okay, all right. Is there any other question? I can take one more. if not, before we let you go to prep for tonight, and we're all eagerly waiting. Okay, cameras up. We have to ask this, Thomas, would you be able to give us a tiny bit of sneak peek of what to expect tonight? Maybe you can, just a short, sweet verse from one of your classics, completely acoustic, right here, right now. Can we do that?
Well, one of the things that I want you to be expecting is to have a great time. And it's going to be high energy. It's going to be times when you want to reminisce, and there may be times when you might shed a few tears, but then there's going to be time in the show that you might laugh, and then of course, dance, dance, dance. So come prepared. Bring your high heels, shoes, leave them at home.
No heels. No heels. We're gonna dance on the grass.
That's right.
I'm still trying here. A short verse.
Okay.
Acoustic.
You know it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Girl, I'm leaving